In the headlines, Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court wants greater sensitization on the use of mediation. The DPP calls for comprehensive change in laws to meet current-day needs, and a paradigm shift in education in the Caribbean. I am Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, the Builders and Contractors Association of Dominica could have a new president later this month. This as the association hosts its AGM later this month. According to President of BCAD, Anthony LeBlanc, proceedings for the AGM started last year but had to be postponed due to the election season.
I might be the outgoing president because the AGM, we started the AGM in early December, late November, but because of the election atmosphere, we didn't get the turnout that we wanted, so we have put it now to the second week in January. So come January, there may be a new executive to look forward to. I should be still on the executive because at least I'll be the outgoing president. So there may be a new look executive for BCAD.
LeBlanc says the association is faced with a number of challenges which he hopes the new executive will tackle this year.
We still face a labor challenge because it's a chicken and egg situation. If you don't have enough work, you can't keep skilled people. And we have migration both internally and externally. We do have some migration internally with the new contractors coming in, new contractors who are coming in with no competition. So they come in and they decide what the price is going to be, or they negotiate pricing. It's not on an open market situation. So they have the privilege of likely getting better pricing than if they had tender. And so they're able to pay more.
LeBlanc is looking forward to the new executive bringing fresh ideas to the table as well as tackling current issues facing the association.
I would hope that the new executive would continue the education drive, the membership drive that we have been on. We hope that we continue the advocacy and we keep pressing the public sector to allow local contractors and citizens to participate in public procurement on a transparent and open basis. And some of the other things that we are looking at, we hope that continues, and we hope there are new ideas that comes in with a new executive.
In more top stories, a paradigm shift for CARICOM's education system to start taking effect this year. Julian Morris explains.
The implementation of the Human Resource Development 2030 project is being spearheaded by the Directorate of Human and Social Development in the CARICOM Secretariat. Under this project, its special emphasis is on the standardization of teaching and promoting a new school model. Director for Human Development within the Directorate, former Permanent Secretary of Health, Helen Roye, says this 2030 strategy will redefine the classroom and teaching standards for the 2030 student.
It addresses what you do to ensure that you have the right skill set, the right teachers, the persons who are teaching teachers, the teachers themselves, how prepared they are to meet the needs of the classroom. Because remember, we are thinking of the 2030 student that would not be requiring some of the things that we did a few years ago. So it's like a paradigm shift to teaching. What are you doing to make sure that every citizen of the region is well trained and has the right skill set to teach those who are coming to them? And that means standardization. That means really looking at what you did before.
Health and family life education is one of the subjects that has already been reviewed, restructured and approved.
When we look at what it entailed a few years ago, we had to change what we need now with the new young person that you have at school today. So that has been approved already by government. We also had to cost how much it would take to implement that strategy. So that financing cost has already gone through the process where we had the ministers of education. They reviewed what we sent, and we are just waiting on the approval to go on to make sure that we get financing. Because if you don't have money, then you cannot implement this strategy. So we have different phases of implementation, and we are actually starting to launch the first phase.
The Directorate of Human and Social Development plans to start implementing this strategy among all 21 CARICOM member states this year.
We have met the planning personnel, the teachers, and we have discussed the standards, but we now have to go to the member states and implement those things. We have the new school health model. It's quite a bit. We have the qualification. Even when you're a teacher, how do you know that the person really meets the criteria for being a teacher? Then that person has to be assessed by a board. So all these are the things that we are putting in place to make sure that by 2030, we would be meeting the need of the 2030 citizen, okay, as it relates to education.
In more developments, Attorney General Levi Peter says Dominica's law revision project is nearing completion. Speaking at the commencement of the 2020 law year on Monday, the Attorney General singled out Attorney Ray Harris for commendation for his tremendous work in advancing that project. The Attorney General said Mr. Harris has endured and been very patient throughout the process.
We would expect that the revised laws, as at 2017, will be available to the public in a few months' time. The Law Revision Law Commission Office is working actively with the publishers at the moment, and it is very, very near completion. In terms of the finalization is being done, and so the hard copies should be available probably around the middle of the year, if not before that. And subsequent to that, the work will immediately begin on the supplements, which obviously will have to cover the period between 2017 and 2019, and thereafter it is hoped to have a continuous production of supplements on a regular basis so that we do not find ourselves in the position that we are now, where the last revision we had was in 1990, and here we are some 27 years later dealing with a revision which obviously is a large and complex exercise when left for that period of time.
The Attorney General has also highlighted the need for more suitable accommodation for the court system post-Hurricane Maria.
It is my understanding that the halls of justice that the Chief Justice referred to, I'm not privy to the information as as specifically as the Chief Justice has related it, but no doubt she may have information that I don't on that. But insofar as I'm aware, I can say that it is being given active consideration. Certainly there is a location that, as I understand it, has been identified. And really what I would suggest is that all practitioners and those who have the interest of justice at heart should continue to ensure that the issue of appropriate accommodation for courts, whether it be called halls of justice or some other term, is kept in the forefront, actively addressed, and as soon as possible that appropriate accommodation for the courts is provided. We also heard the Chief Justice refer to the challenges that have been experienced throughout the region in the courts by way of the disposal of matters that come before the court. And she referred to our own situation in Dominica. Of course, the accommodation and facilities have a bearing on that, but also the professionalism and diligence of practitioners. As a member of the Bar Association Dominica, the Bar in Dominica, I would strongly urge all of us legal practitioners to ensure that we come to our matters with the utmost diligence and the utmost professionalism, and to ensure that we assist our clients and do the best we can for them, as we are obligated to do, but also that we ensure that matters are dealt with in a professional and timely manner.
You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Maladie HIV et bien maladie sexuelle. Si ou pas protéger corps lors qu'un sexe avec plusieurs mondes, ça peut mettre la vie ou à gros danger. Ou qu'à exposer toute partenaire au présent et que tant qu'il a vini avec maladie. Servez un condom chaque fois ou qu'un sexe. Changez qui est important pour découvrir maladie à bonheur ou ça vivre en bonne santé même si ou une maladie HIV. Pour responsabilité, protéger corps et puis les autres. Examinez corps. Aidez du bout si même maladie HIV et l'autre maladie sexuelle.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Welcome back. The biggest challenge facing the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court is sensitizing the public and some legal practitioners on the benefits of mediation.
Chief Justice Janice Pereira says in 2019 the court renewed its efforts to promote mediation in the resolution of disputes. She says the reason for this was to rekindle its mediation program in member states and territories where the number of matters being referred and resolved through mediation appeared to be decreasing.
Apart from conducting mediation training, the court, with the assistance of jurists, launched a mediation public education campaign aimed at getting the word out to all corners of the public of the real and enduring benefits of mediation as a more timely and cost-effective alternative to the courts for resolution of disputes. Since its implementation in the mid-2000s, court-connected mediation has proven to be a resounding success in some states, but we wish to see more successes in other states and territories as a means of delivering real and timely benefits to parties, while at the same time easing the burden on an overloaded court system across our jurisdiction.
To address these challenges, the court has held training workshops in member territories over the past year. The mediation public education campaign has been launched in Dominica, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Lucia.
I wish to take this opportunity to urge legal practitioners to embrace mediation for the benefit of their clients. You are duty-bound to assist the court in dealing with cases justly. Actively encouraging a party to mediate his or her dispute is all part and parcel of doing just that, assisting the court in allocating appropriate use of its resources by facilitating early resolution of disputes. The early and amicable resolution of conflicts brings about a great sense of overall well-being and promotes peace and stability within society. Legal practitioners therefore play a vital role in achieving this.
Director of Public Prosecutions, Evelina Baptist, says there is a need for change in all the systems and structures that support the administration of both civil and criminal justice. Baptist says it is necessary for action to be taken to ensure the administration of justice is effective and efficient. She commends the passing of the civil procedure rules and the sentencing guidelines in the case of theft, drugs, and sexual offenses. But the DPP says much more comprehensive change is required if the court is to realize its objective as outlined in the theme for the current law year, a new era for the ECSC, the road to achieving court excellence.
Specifically as it concerns the administration of criminal justice, in order for us to move forward, or for the changes to be relevant, we must look to amend the outmoded laws and procedures and the weak administrative structure that support prosecution. My lady, I won't allude to every aspect of it, but it is imperative that I point out that at this time we continue to labor under an outdated and 19th and 20th century Evidence Act and Criminal Law and Procedures Act, notwithstanding the 2013 amendment to the Criminal Law and Procedures Act. We cannot really have effective change if those fundamental pieces of legislation which guide the law of evidence and practice and procedure in the criminal court are not revamped, are not amended, are not repealed, and new legislation adopted. It is imperative for us to do so. My lady, the criminal behaviors, criminal actions have changed. The law have changed. And most of this legislation do not contemplate how crimes are committed in our recent times and the kind of crimes that are committed. And we cannot move along the crossroads, from the crossroads to the direction of success if those fundamental action for change are not taken.
And a complete review on a tourism white paper to be completed by the second quarter of the year. Julian Morris tells us more.
The white paper was introduced to members of the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association in 2019 with proposals on how to take the tourism industry forward by growing the capital needed to develop the sector. Executive Vice President of the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association, Kevin Francis, says presently the paper is being examined by members with the hope of presenting the revised and approved document later this year.
Actually, the white paper is currently in review right now. You know, it's something we sent that out before the end of the year to redo it. It is for a tourism enhancement fund. In 2018, we had our AGM focused on reigniting the growth engine. All right, and one of the examples that we got from our keynote, who was the past president for the St. Lucia Hotel and Tourism Association, was the implementation of a tourism enhancement fund. All right, now St. Lucia has their tourism enhancement fund running for almost about 5 years right now, and they're able to bring in funds into the association that are used to essentially enhance the industry.
The paper covers a wide range of areas, including a tourism enhancement fund. The EVP hopes to have the review completed before the start of the next cruise season.
It speaks to socioeconomic development, infrastructure, entertainment, and other things that seek to enhance the tourism product. So right now it's still in review. I would like to have our tourism enhancement rolling before the beginning of the next season, which is in Q3. So before that, we will be, seeking the buy-in from our membership. Essentially, what it would be a voluntary charge to visitors, and all those individual charges come together in a pool, and that pool is used to, develop the industry. So hopefully by the third quarter, we'll hear a little bit more about our tourism enhancement fund.
Francis says so far membership feedback on the tourism white paper has been favorable.
We have already let our intentions known to our membership about what we're trying to do. The majority of the membership are not opposed, but obviously we would need to get more detail for them to get that buy-in. So while we're polishing off the white paper, we'll also be taking in some recommendations, suggestions from our membership. So when we do release something, we release something that is comprehensive and speaks to, the issues of our membership.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
To end the news, the headlines again. Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court wants sensitization to increase on the use of mediation. The DPP calls for a comprehensive change in laws to meet current-day needs, and a paradigm shift for education in the Caribbean. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us next time.